Welcome. Thank you for coming in. You are
Thank you for having me. I'm Michael Catania.
okay. And what brings you here today?
I am currently applying for this position.
All righty. What interests you about this job?
A lot of things have interested me through when I look through this job. Things like being able to help other people over the phone in the help desk field, to be able to interact with team members and getting a job well done.
Okay. Why don't you tell me what you think your greatest accomplishments are?
So my greatest accomplishments would be my rank of Eagle that I achieved through Boy Scouts of America. I became a Boy Scout early on, when I was 11 years old, and it is a process that took me all the way up until I was 18. And so through that, it showed a lot of dedication, and I had to be very well organized to complete a project that we had to have in order to get the rank.
Okay. What are some of your other accomplishments?
Some of my other accomplishments would be the ability, or that I have held 4 positions, 4 jobs in all. That was in the beginning, I worked at Best Buy, and after that I moved on to Loyola University in their internship program, and then and when I transferred over to St. Xavier University, I was their webmaster for the newspaper, and then I moved on over to the internship in the IT program at St. Xavier University.
What did the webmaster position at the university newspaper do for you? Did you learn a lot of specialized programming, or what was the job like? Tell me about it.
I had to get familiar with their program that they used to upload all of the content onto the website. Through doing that, I was able to manage a lot of the pictures and all the content that was available for me to put on. And I had to make sure that I didn't break any copyright laws, so I had to get in contact with my boss while I worked there to make sure that they got approval to put the pictures online so that we didn't get fined or get in trouble.
Okay. That sounds exciting. Does the newspaper still print paper, or is it all online now?
They print paper, but it is also available online.
Could you send me a link sometime to look at it? I'd like to see what the work is like.
Sure can.
All righty. Now I was just looking at this. You were at Loyola, and then you were at St. Xavier. How did that happen?
That basically just happened because I am someone who likes to be able to find the best options in my life, and that would treat me well. I thought that I had better opportunity attending St. Xavier University than at Loyola.
Okay. Tell me something about St. Xavier University. I really have never heard. It's in Orland Park?
It is, the main campus is in Chicago. They have a off-site campus that's in Orland Park. The main campus in Chicago is off of 103rd and Pulaski Street. And through the university's program in the computer science department, we have 5 PhD teachers that work full-time advisors. St. Xavier also has the National Computer Science Foundation grant that they award some particular students. They also have a dedicated internship program through the university as well, which I'm currently in.
Oh, okay. Oh, so your current job is an internship? Is that for college credit?
I'm doing it not for college credit.
Okay. All right. All righty. Um, Tell me a little bit about your strengths.
So my strengths would be that I am very well organized, I'm a hard worker, I'm very punctual. I try not to, actually, I don't recall ever missing a day of school in college. And as for work is concerned, I arrive on time.
All righty. You've got some pretty high grades, 3.7 out of 4.0. So I was going to ask you if there's anything you did poorly in, but I guess not. You don't have any academic weaknesses, I guess?
No,
That's good. Was there anything you disliked about St. Xavier?
I don't think I felt like I was very comfortable at the university. I felt like as if I was part of their little family.
So, do you think grades really reflect people's abilities?
To some extent, I think that very much does. You can see that with someone with higher grades can show that they get things done on time, that they show that they are dedicated to their work.
You told me that you like to get things in on time, be punctual. How do you manage that, especially in a multitasking environment?
Every student is given, or at least the ability to obtain a assignment notebook. And what I do is I create my tasks throughout each day of what I have to do, and I use their calendar to also plan ahead. And I actually try to get all my work done a week before it's actually due.
Wow, very good. Do you think that's going to carry over into your work life, that you're going to remain organized like this with to-dos and calendars and schedules?
I most certainly do think that, because as we have seen here with the 3.7 GPA, that's a cumulative grade. And so I've demonstrated that through all my years of college, and so I am showing consistency with my work.
Okay. All righty. Do you like to work alone or in groups?
I have actually no preference for that. I am very much determined to get things done, whether it is by myself, and I am more than capable of working as a team member and with a group.
When you work with people in a group, there's always some problems which come up. Someone doesn't get their part done, or is dragging their heels, or it simply turns in a poor effort. What do you do when you're working with someone which does that?
I believe that communication is always the best thing to have between employees, and that if I just confront them and calmly talk to them and try to work through that problem, maybe we could work together into helping out each other.
Okay. What do you do if you find out someone you're working with really does not like you?
I would do my best to just remain as professional as can be and be always respectful to that person, and to continue to work with them and do the best I can in that situation.
Have you ever had any problems at any of the places you've worked that you had to solve on your own?
Yes, and in which case, the fact that someone we weren't necessarily getting along, but our personalities just clashed. However, we were able to both maintain professionalism with everything that we did, and able to get past our differences and to keep focused on the job at hand.
Okay. What type of person is most difficult for you to get along with?
I would say that the most difficult person to get along with would be someone who is absolutely lazy and that doesn't get work done. However, that is never, something like that though isn't correctable or fixable, if that's even the right word. I would say that through just talking with someone who is lazy, to try to motivate them in a different way that they haven't been motivated in, can go a long way.
What motivates you?
I would say that just knowing that a job well done, and also being you call me a nerd for this, but the thrill of just being organized and knowing that I can accomplish tasks in a timely fashion, that puts me over the edge, or it puts me up in front of other people. That is probably what motivates me the most.
So you like attention. Do you like being in charge?
Every now, yeah, I do.
Okay. So you would feel in a few months, if you worked out here, that you would like to be considered for promotion, supervision perhaps?
I would be interested in that, yes.
Do you think you'd need additional training for that?
I always think additional trainings is always useful.
All right. Now, what would your ideal work environment be like?
My ideal work environment would be able to work with everyone in harmony, to be able to work together as one unit, to be able to just get hold of all tasks, all work orders, and be able to present it in a professional way, but also in a friendly way.
Now, why do you think we should hire you over other candidates we're going to be seeing today?
I can offer you many things that maybe not everyone else has. I am very well organized. I keep myself in order. I show determination, and I am very punctual, and you can always count on me to always be there on time, ready to work, and always enthusiastic for the job I'm taking.
Okay. What interested you in this particular field? Why did you decide on this one and maybe not an accounting degree? That's something that organized people always seem to enjoy as a profession.
Ever since I was little, I've always been interested in computers. I've always liked to mess around on them, go on the computer. I would sometimes even, when I was really young, end up breaking it, but then I had to fix it before my parents got home. So I was always caught on that deadline. They get home at 5 o'clock, I gotta fix it. And it's funny that you mentioned about accounting, is that in my future, I see myself getting an MBA in accounting. I want to be able to one day take on the business side of an IT department.
And it's a good fit. What do you do about stress?
I basically hold my breath for a little bit, count to 10, all refreshed, and then I look at each task and what needs to be done. I look at priorities, what is the highest priority, and I do that in order of priority.
Give me an actual example of that, just from something recent you've had.
Sure. I remember I had to give a oral presentation of a book report for a class. At that same time, I had to do a few things for work, a lot of tasks that I had to do, in which I had to stay there a little bit later than usual, and I also had many other assignments and reading assignments that I had to take care of. And then I looked at my schedule, and of course before all this I was getting anxious and antsy, but then I look at my schedule and I deal with it and say, this is due in this day. I need to have this done by this day. I need to have this done by this day. How much time do I have left? Then I say, okay, I need to get this work done at work between now, Monday and Friday, during the work hours that I'm there. Then I have to consider, okay, then I have to read for next week. Even though the readings are happening now, I have time to do it here. And then I have the book report. First I have to read the book and then develop a presentation. Then, with that, I make sure I read the book and separate my time with personal life and business life and work and school. Separate that time and then create the PowerPoint presentation for it when it's all said and done. But I make sure I always develop my time and keep my time in check with all the other tasks I'm doing. And I sometimes do this by using Excel spreadsheets, or I even use, I've one time actually used a planner. I used a Gantt chart, things like that.
If we go further, we'll need a list of references. What would your professional references say about you socially,
Like outside the work space.
outside of the workplace? We're interested in your personality.
I'm very easygoing to work with. I'm very adaptable in any situation. I get along with others, and in anything, even outside of work, I am very determined and hardworking.
Okay. Do you have any present social obligations which would make it difficult for you to work overtime or weekends or holidays?
No.
No? Okay, that's good. I do want you to know this is a salaried position. You are not paid for overtime. You are compensated adequately to begin with. And when you have to work overtime, our feeling is it's something that you're not getting within the required period of time.
If it's necessary, I'm more than willing to work overtime.
Okay. So what do you think is more important, your career, or now that you're finished with college, starting quite a bit more of a fun social life?
I got past the whole having fun social life of my life, and I am ready for the business life, and I'm ready for my career.
All right. Have you ever asked an employer or a professor to give you extra time for anything?
Can't say that I have.
What do you think is important in terms of management skills?
I think one of the most important things is to be organized. And I think that is very key. The next thing on that list should be that you're very personable and someone that is very respectful and very professional with what they do.
And do you think you have any of these management skills already?
I would say I do, yes.
And what are they? Tell me about it.
Well, we'll start with the organized ability that I have. I believe that through my credentials that I have shown through my past that is in existence. I have organized my life to the point where I'm in my fun time, I create a 2-year plan, 5-year plan of my life and how much, say, it would ever cost me to live. And I would always consider that in my life because, I mean, that's something I think people should have to know.
You have a 2-year to 5-year cost of living schedule?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
What is that?
It just consists of how much I would be paying for gas, for rent, for expenses, and predicted, like I have all these predictions on what it could be. I mean, nothing ever goes according to plan, but I have it to the best of my ability to try to predict what my future would come unfolding for me.
Do you have other goals in this besides just the cost of living? Do you?
Oh yes,
You
of course.
do? What kind of goals do you have?
Learning. I am in it for majority's sake of learning and just living the workplace and doing computers and even the business side of it eventually one day. But definitely I would say to be able to teach myself on increasing my knowledge in the work, in the field of study that I'm in.
You sound like a very, very serious young man. Don't you ever enjoy yourself?
I do enjoy myself. I believe though professional life should stay professional and social life should stay social. But there is always the time to, relax, but it's always that time to get down to work.
Okay. Have you applied at other places?
I have, and I continue to keep on applying.
Anything definite coming up?
At this moment, no.
When would you be available for work?
I would be available for work as soon as I graduate in May 2013.
Okay. Can you give me an actual example of like why you're a better employee than the other employees you work with right now?
I am the only intern who goes to the Orland Park campus that we have on our satellite campus, and I am the only intern there that makes sure that everything is running properly over there and organizing everything during the time I'm there, and I coordinate with the full-time staff.
Okay. Do you think being on probation for the first 6 months in this position will be difficult for you?
I don't think so.
Okay. Have you ever been in a position before where you were on probation for some period of time?
Yes.
And how did that work out?
That worked out actually pretty well. For example, the internship, since it wasn't for a class credit and it was part-time, I had to do everything that I could and be the best I can during that probation period of time to have them consider me for hire, but not only for that period of time, but to make sure that I am like that for the rest of the time. And I believe that in that 6 months period of time in which you show and demonstrate that you are the worker that you are brought up to be, that would carry throughout the rest.
Okay. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask us?
What would be the main duties that I would have for this job?
You'll get a job description if you come back for a second interview, and you'll be meeting both the person that would be your supervisor as well as some of your coworkers. You may not meet them all, but that's how we handle the later part of hiring.
And I know that currently with my job that I have, I transitioned from going both from Chicago campus to Orland Park campus. Would this job have that, or would I be stationed in one particular location?
You'll be in one location. Usually we don't have travel for our junior employees. Do you have any other things you'd like to tell me today?
That I am very pleased and happy that you gave me this opportunity to hire me, or to have an interview with.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for coming in then.
Thank you for having me.
All righty. Oh.